Hey friends, welcome to Freedom in a Budget. I'm Kelly and it is Dumping Debt Friday time where I answer your questions. We're going to dig into some really good questions. Y'all are keeping me on my toes. I love them. So please leave your questions down below in the comments. Also, if you have a money win, I would love to celebrate that with you. I love me some money wins. We're actually getting to the point now where we're getting more money wins than we are questions, which is really cool and exciting, and I love celebrating with you guys. But also give me some questions. I need some questions for some more upcoming videos, so please leave your questions down below. All right, let's get into it. First one is from my eyesight, Dalton's Friendswood. Yeah, Dalton's Friendswood. They said, curious to know, say you went to register for your second school and they had an in-state and out-of-state prices. Doesn't that spur you to find out what the requirements are for in-state when it's so much less out-of-state? You mentioned in the video someone should have told you, but isn't that your own responsibility to find out, especially with the internet at your fingertips? Wondering how we can educate young people into taking the initiative into finding out this information on their own. Great video. This is a really good question. Y'all kind of called me out in it, but that is totally okay. So this is talking about when I was talking about college and I paid a premium to go to out-of-state tuition. And no one had told me that if I just live in Florida for 6 months, then I can pay in-state tuition and save thousands of dollars, so much money. And so they're saying that, why didn't you research that? Didn't that spur anything? Well, honestly, I didn't know until after I was already in school and after I had graduated that was a thing. And it was, kind of like a, seriously? Now, you say that, I didn't have anyone to help me or anything like that, and I should have researched it. And honestly, this is an excuse, but I was 18 and I didn't, the internet back then was not the internet today. Yes, you could do research and different things like that, but it wasn't like, so you have a question, just Google it. It wasn't like that back then. And I didn't have any family. My mom passed away at 16. So I was going at this alone. My dad had no clue about any of this type of stuff. So I didn't have any family members to teach me. And, this is one of the reasons why I make videos like this. I hope that, these types of videos can get out to some high school students. And, YouTube today is not what it was back then. I don't think YouTube, I think YouTube was around then, but it certainly wasn't what it is today. And the teenagers watching it. So I would love for more teenagers to be watching videos like this, watching channels like The Financial Wolf. Will is amazing at teaching high schoolers how to make money and how to deal with some of those tough questions. And it's so cool to see those younger people reaching out to high schoolers and teaching them, hey, this is something that's really important that you need to, learn about and watch out for. And I think it's really important to just educate, this generation coming up. And so I hope that a lot of my videos, do go out there. I do see that some of my stats, I do have, some people in the 13 to 17 year age range watching my videos, which is so exciting and I love it. So I hope that, I can help pass on some of this knowledge to the next generation. Next question is from a message on Instagram, and they said, hi, I have a question for Dumping Debt Friday video. I'm a teacher and must pay into teacher's requirement system. The mandatory percent for my tier is 6%, which comes straight out of my check. For baby step 4, do I count that contribution as part of the 15%, leaving me 9% to invest, or do I do a completely separate 15% in Roth IRA, Roth 403b contributions? So I would include the 6% in your 15%. Now, that doesn't mean you have to stop at 15%. We don't. We invest probably 20 to 22% of our income into our retirement. So that doesn't mean you have to stop right at 15%, but I would include that in the 15%, but that does not include any company match. So say you have 6%, and like my company, they do 50% match. So if I contribute up to 6%, so if I do 6% my own money, they will contribute up to 3%, so 50% of 6%, to my retirement. So I don't count that 3%, so it doesn't go up to 9%. It still stays at the 6%. So I hope that makes sense. But yes, do some Roth IRAs, Roth 4B, do some different things, do some Vanguard, do Robinhood, M1 Finance, whatever you can do to up that retirement a little bit. Great question. Next question is from Arthur Dia, and she says, congratulations on getting the house. Could you talk about the type of loan, VA loan, you went with that allowed you to get a lower down payment with no PMI? I'm trying to compare what you did to a doctor's loan. They have no PMI, and many actually don't even require down payment based on your credit score. Not that I think 0% down is a good idea, but the doctor's loan are very happy to have only 5 or 10% down. Also, did not using credit cards affect your credit score? Dave always talks about how credit score is dumb, but it seems like unless you are like him and just pay 100% cash for a house, that having a decent credit score is needed. This is a loaded question. So we wanted to go with Navy Federal for our loan because we do have family in the military. So I do have a Navy Federal savings account, and we were really excited to go with them for a mortgage, but it turned out it was actually more expensive than going through a local mortgage broker. So we found a mortgage broker through a realtor that our realtor has worked with for over 20 years, and she was such a blessing, and we actually have become close, and she's amazing, absolutely amazing. She's a Christian. I trust her, and it's just so cool of like how God was in it all. So cool. But we are doing only 10% down. We're not doing 20% down, and I'm going to get into this in a video later on, so stay tuned for that. And we are going to be paying PMI. So I think that our PMI, I think she calculated it being $83 a month. So honestly, we did the math, and the $83 a month that we're paying in PMI, we're still saving more money in equity with rent and all of that stuff. So, you know, it is something that we discussed, and if we were to save up the full 20%, we would be in the apartment for another year. So it's not worth it for us. We'd rather just pay the PMI, and then probably within a year and a half, it'll get taken off. So that is, you know, really exciting that we'll be able to get that PMI taken care of. But it is something that we had to decide, and, you know, I'm sure we're going to get some slack on this, but it is what it is. Now for credit score, dun dun dun, we did realize that credit score did affect us a lot. And actually my credit, so when you look at the credit score brackets and how they work, and they're, you know, broken into different categories, one of the lines is 740, I think it is, yeah, 740. And my credit, because I'm debt free, when I became debt free and paid off all my student loans, my credit score dropped drastically because I had no debt. So after that, then we started introducing credit cards and different things like that, and just paying them off every month. So that was to help rebuild our credit, and also to get the rewards and the points and everything like that. So when we started the mortgage process, our credit, or Jamie's credit was like 744. My credit was 739. So 1 point below on that meter, and that made a huge difference in our loan options. It was crazy, and you know how much our loan payment would be and all of that, the interest score. It's crazy how much it made a difference in our mortgage. So we actually did a credit repair, and so our mortgage broker hired someone. I think she paid like $200, and he did a calculation with all of my, you know, credit cards and different things like that, and he said, okay, pay this one off in full, and this one leave the balance at $5, send me an updated thing. They ran the credit score, and it brought it up to 741, so that I was up in that next bracket. But it's crazy how much your credit score really does affect you. And like you said, unless you're paying 100% cash for a house, unless, you know, like we paid 100% cash for my Jeep, so that did not affect my credit score on what that was, and the interest rate on that loan, it didn't have any effect on it whatsoever because we paid 100% cash. But with this house, it affected it. And, you know, I hate to say that, but, you know, credit scores do sometimes have an effect on our mortgages and different things like that. Next question is from Marissa Alexander, and she says, these are all ideas I've never considered heard about in other videos. Gave me a lot to think on. We're hopefully only 1.5 years away from starting the buying process, so it's helpful to start planning now, but not get too ahead of ourselves. Can you clarify what you mean by have all our cash ready? What did you save up? Down payment, other funds? How long did that take you? So this is talking about the video on home buying tips and everything you need to know when you are buying a house and searching for the houses and all of that process. And I made a comment that one of my tips was to make sure you have all the cash ready before you're ready to start seriously looking for a house. And what I meant by that is when you're saving up for a down payment and different things like that, you want to make sure that you have whatever your down payment is going to be, make sure you have that saved up in full. So we are putting down $37,000. So we made sure that we had that $37,000 ready before we started looking, or that we know that in the next couple months we'll be able to do it. But we didn't start looking when we only had $20,000 saved and was like another 6 months out. Because what happens if you fall in love with your dream house? Or what if you find your perfect house and then you're out of luck? By the time that you have that money saved, the house will be off the market. So you want to make sure that you have all of that ready to go before you start looking. And what was the other part? How long did it take you? So we started saving for our house pretty much right when we got married. We started putting about I think it was like $500 a month away. So that was November 2017. But in that time frame, we were really, really hardcore saving for a new car. And we paid cash we paid $25,000 for my Jeep. So $25,000 of that did get paid. So we really, really started aggressively saving for the house in November 2018. So it's been 6, 7, 8 months that we were really aggressively saving for the house. Piper wants to be in the video. All right, last question, then we got some money wins. This one is from Eunice Hernandez, and she says, I may have missed this previously. Do you keep each line item on a sinking fund and separate checking savings account? We have an emergency fund that houses 8 months of living expenses, but we want to grow that this year, but also separate different items we need to save for. We are house hunting currently. That's awesome. So I keep everything in Capital One 360. That is an amazing savings account it's a high interest savings account, so you can get a little bit money on your return. Now I keep it all in one account, and then I keep my sinking fund separate in Excel. You guys see my budget report cards where I have that. But Capital One 360, they do have an option that you can have separate accounts, separate account numbers, everything under the same login, which is really cool feature that Capital One 360 has. If you do want to sign up with Capital One or check it out, I will have a link down below in the description. I think it's if you have $250 in the account when you transfer it over, then you get a $25 bonus, which is awesome. And they have no fees, nothing like that. They are really, really good, solid checking account, savings account, money market account. The $25 bonus works for any one of those. So go check them out. They are awesome. I've been using them for over 3 years now and absolutely love them. I have a monitor right behind, and he is staring at himself in the monitor. What you looking at? All right, let's get some money wins. First one is from Questify. And she says, I paid off a debt this month. Another one is getting paid off next month. I also opened a M1 account. I'll be investing a little there while I pay off the remaining 2 debts, my car and student loans. I'm halfway through my journey and paying off $90,000 worth of consumer debt. Girl, I am so proud of you. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wow, so cool. And if you didn't know, M1 Finance is a investing app. All right, 2 more money wins. Next one is AC, and they said, hey Kelly, so excited to share this money win with you. On the very last day of May, my husband and I paid off a final payment on our debt. My student loans were debt free. Holy cow, that's amazing. That's a whooping $21,373.05. Started out with $31,555 back in December. Oh, wow, that's fast, girl. I hardly expected that we'd be able to do this so soon, and the reason that we could was my husband recently changed his major to be more in line with his current job and now has more future stability and peace of mind. With that change, we were able to take a huge chunk of savings and throw at that debt. Thanks so much for all you do and fun sharing and celebrating with you along the way. Instagram with you fund day payoff template. That is amazing. Yes, and I do have a template on paying off debt in my Instagram, so I'll have that link down below you guys too. You can just take a screenshot of it on Instagram and fill it in. So that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. I cannot believe that you're debt free. Congratulations. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Next one is from Cheryl Finstein. Is that Scandinavian? That looks Scandinavian. She says, congratulations to all the money winners. I paid off one stupid loan this month. So excited and working on the rest. Cheryl, that is amazing. Awesome job paying off those loans. That is incredible. Great job. All right, guys, that is my Dumping Debt Friday questions and money wins. Don't forget to leave your questions down below in the comments. Also, leave the secret emoji down below in the comments if you made it to the end of the video. Here are my social media handles and blog. Go check those out. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.